Live from the Scum and Villainy Cantina, it's time for the Nighttime Show with our very special guest, the toy hunter himself, Jordan Hembrough, and our head writer, Matt Walker. I'm the voice of the Nighttime Show, Mike Black, and the man who's been carbo loading for this event for 40 years, Mr. Stephen Kramer Glickman.
Yeah! We're here. Fans get used to it. This is a big deal. We're very excited. We are here at the Scum and Villainy Cantina in Hollywood, California. It is such a cool location, and we are so excited to be here. Jordan Hembrough, all the way here from
the East Coast.
From the East Coast, from the New Jerseys.
That's right.
You are a master of toys. Toy master.
I like to think of myself as like a toy ninja. Like you never see me coming.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you have a toy and it's like wah, and I come right in. And I just take that toy away from you.
You swoop in and you know more than the average bear.
That's what they tell me. That's what they tell me. You know, I've been very, very fortunate. I started out as a collector just like you guys.
Yeah.
I got a really, really sweet gig over on the network, and I've just been really, really lucky, sort of traveling the globe, buying toys and talking about pop culture all the time.
Now there are a lot of people collect toys, but how do you make a real career out of collecting toys and being a wizard of toys, like knowing everything about toys? How did that happen?
I kind of dive right into it. I was a collector ever since I was young. I was a huge Star Wars geek, 40 years ago today. Star Wars changed my life. Saw it when I was a kid, started collecting obsessively, and just kind of basically held on to everything, got the bug. And then when I was in college, I got a gig with a company called Starlog, and I don't know if anyone actually remembers Starlog.
Hell yeah, Starlog.
Starlog magazine, and actually they had a chain of retail stores. So I got a gig as a buyer for one of the retail stores, and I moved over to the corporate office, and I became the buyer for all 13 around the world, which was kind of cool.
Oh, my God.
Sort of just parlayed it from there, just
you
pop
could
culture
not be
and toys.
a nerd if you weren't reading Starlog.
I know, it was incredible.
You just weren't,
And the cool thing is back then, we're talking about like the 90s, so back then, all the vendors, they would be like, hey, we want you to look at our product. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, we'll send you samples. So before I knew it, like my office, there were samples all over. And every
Throw
day,
me into that briar patch.
You'd walk in every day, they're like, the Stein company sent out like 25 Star Wars Steins, and then we have stuff from like X-Files and Star Trek neckties.
Wow.
And the office was just filled with samples of all stuff.
Now, did you get one of those? They were making them at the time. Those Han Solo carbonite prop replicas.
We didn't get one of those. It was so big, but they offered to send one to us. We had a couple of the Yodas, the elusive.
That would be hard
Yodas.
to say no to.
I would have taken.
I'd be like, let's fire someone. We can make room.
I know. Yeah. Prop up the cubicle.
I used to love the masks that they would have in Starlog. You'd open
the
up
Dawn
Starlog
Post,
and the Dawn Post,
the Dawn Post masks and everything.
God, and I would want to buy. I'd want to buy one and
They
have
were
them sent to my
fantastic.
house.
They were fantastic. The funny thing is, like the editor of Starlog magazine, a guy named Norman Jacobs, he was a real genius because he'd bring in all this revenue from all these advertising, from all this product that was sold at the back of the magazine. Yeah. He's like, I don't need this. He's like, I'm just going to open up my own store. So he opened up his own store in Ridgewood, New Jersey, and the store like made a killing. And then he's like, I'm going to conquer the world. And before you know it, bam, like 13 stores all over the world, in England. It was incredible.
The stores called Starlog?
It was Starlog, the comic and science fiction universe. We had Jersey, Pennsylvania, L.A., King of Prussia. Then we had them over in Kingston on the Thames. We had it in England, all over the place. And it's like anything you could find in a Starlog magazine, you just went in the store and you got it. And people would come in and hang out and everything. And
I'm so glad you guys didn't have it on the West Coast because I would have blown all my money.
We did. We had them in Arizona, and it's like we were starting to hit to LA and Hollywood. It was incredible.
Oh my God! I would have done anything for a store like that.
I was in Colorado. I was a state over. I could have gone.
Yeah, you could have gone there.
White Black would have been giving hand jobs on the corner to get enough money to buy a new toy.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh my God!
At least
you were giving you'd be giving giving a Han job.
Han job. Oh God.
Han Solo, you can't see what they're doing. That's an old Cheech and Chong joke.
So how do you go from Starlog into being the toy hunter? How does that happen?
It's the company shut down because of everything, financial
Like the
landscape.
internet came in and
the internet came in and kind of bombed. Actually, something. The mall rents went up so high. I think at one point we were paying like 10 or 11 grand a month just to be in a mall.
We'd like you to pay for the whole mall.
I know.
For us, basically.
So what happened is I was the buyer for the corporation, and we kind of knew what was happening. So I sent a memo out to all the managers. Oh God, this is like an exclusive. Everyone's finding out how I did this. So I sent out a memo to all the managers and said, you guys got to send back all the collectibles inventory. We're doing some inventory. We're changing everything. Yeah. So they send back all this inventory. And then we shut down the stores.
Man!
So
that's how you got it out.
Everything is in the warehouse, and the big liquidation sale from the company is on. And I show up at the liquidation sale, and I knew where the pallets were.
You know,
so
where the good stuff is.
they're like auctioning off blind pallets. Like, pallet number 349. I'll start the bidding at $5.
Yeah.
And I'm like sitting there with my paddle up. So essentially, I bought back the entire inventory of the company for 10 cents on the dollar. So I started my own company.
Mm-hmm. So it was like in that warehouse, you knew where the Ark of the Covenant was.
Oh yeah, I knew where everything was. I knew where everything was. Like I went through, I put a big red X on the side of the fucking pallet.
Genius.
So I was doing it for like 10 years, and
Wow.
A guy calls me and he's like, hey, it's Scott. We went to high school together. A friend of mine's a casting agent in New York, and they're doing a kind of a gig and a show now. I think you'd be good at it. I'm like, okay. So I went and met with a company called Sharp Entertainment. They were out of New York City, and at the time they were doing a show, really successful show called Man vs. Food on the Travel Channel.
Sure.
So everyone remembers that, and they did a lot of other shows. And the guy comes in, and he's like, so here's the thing. He's like, we interviewed 85 different people right now. He's like, I just got to ask you a couple questions. I'm like, okay. He goes, do you sell toys for a living? I'm like, yeah. He goes, you got another job? This isn't like anything on the side. I'm like, no, it's what I do for a living. He's like, okay. He's like, you have any interest in being on a show? I'm like, yeah, I guess. He's like, okay. He's like, you're hired.
Oh my God!
So it's like
really?
I think it went in on Tuesday, and on Thursday I signed the contract, and the following month we were filming the pilot.
So did they just not have anybody that actually did what you did?
What happened? Here's the thing: they basically took the show to one network, and the network was like, yeah, it sounds cool, and then they kind of went away and they didn't do anything, and the network came back to them and said hey, where's that show? We kind of really want it.
Run it.
So they're like, oh shit, now we got to find someone. They interviewed 85 different people over 6 months, and apparently everyone they found either the guy's like, yeah, I sell toys, but I also have a job as a clerk at Sears or something like that.
Right.
Sure.
Another guy was
can't leave town.
No, another guy's like, yeah, I sell toys, but they're like, well, do you have a business? Like, yeah, I operate out of mom and dad's basement, and they're like, no, it's not good.
They
either.
need a place with a.
So it's they couldn't find
real
anyone.
thing, yeah.
So I walked in. And I was an actor as a child. I was a child actor. I did Law and Order. I did some Broadway stuff. So okay, great. So you can kind of hold yourself in front of a camera a little bit. I'm like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. They're like, great. And you can obviously string two sentences together and not sound like a moron. I'm like,
right,
thank you. So I got really, really lucky, and I was very, very fortunate. And I realized I was very, very fortunate. So it was off to the races, and the rest they say was history. We had a great.
That's
3.5 years here, and then we went over, and it was over in England for a year, and on different networks. And I think even today, the show is
reruns.
The show is taking on this cult status. It's all over the world. It's in China.
Yeah.
I get messages from the Ukraine going, "Hey, I see your show in Ukraine. It's big laugh, very, very good." I'm like, all
messages from
right.
China where they're like, "Hey, that toy you had on, I made that."
Yeah, they're like, "Hey, yeah, I got a basement."
You ever look
full
at
of
I was with Matt in San Diego doing the American Comedy Company, and we were staying at the Hard Rock Hotel, and I sat down on the couch and was just trying to relax, and I turn on the TV, turn on Travel Channel, and Toy Hunter comes on.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
How have I not known this was a show? And I immediately went on to my to like iTunes and bought every single
like, this
episode.
is my life.
Yeah, and then I wrote you, and I was like, "Oh my God, are we best friends? We are best friends now."
Yeah.
And then you came out for my birthday. And
I came out for your birthday at the Big Bash. It was awesome.
and you ran the silent auction for Children's Hospital and got them a ton of money. It was very cool of you.
It was incredible. No, man, it's all you. You're generous. You're like a big, generous teddy bear.
Oh, stop it!
No, it was great.
Hey, so Matt, as always, I brought a bottle of Fireball whiskey to the show because Fireball is the best. It's the best.
It makes every show better.
It makes everything better, man. It makes dates better. It makes dancing better. It makes podcasts better. It makes shows better. It makes stand-up better. It makes dealing with your family better. It makes crying better. It's so much better. I love it. I'm going to drink some right now. And you know what? If I hold the bottle up, you can actually hear the Fireball whiskey
You
talking.
can't hear it talk.
Yes, you can. I'll take the lid off. Hang on. Okay, now I'm going to hold it up. You can hear.
Steven!
Yep, that's the Fireball.
Wow.
That's in the
I
bottle.
want to be inside you.
Oh, all right.
Steven!
Hey, Fireball, how are you?
I'm so horny, Steven.
I'm sure you are. All right, now
I
let's.
want to do it with your stomach.
Well, get on in there. I'm gonna drink you down,
right.
baby. Here we go.
Yeah, swallow it. Yeah.
Get in there. Ooh, how's
yeah.
it feel in my stomach?
Feels so good.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. So good.
Hey, who's making all that racket?
Oh, God, there's another man in here. Steven, you whore.
How much stuff do you have in your stomach?
Who's in my stomach? Who is that?
He looks so handsome.
Oh, that's Gary.
Yeah,
Gary.
don't you remember?
Gary asked if he could.
I slid down an onion ring last week, bro.
Yeah, he needed a place to stay.
Yeah.
I'm Airbnb-ing my
Your
stomach
stomach,
right now.
Definitely, yeah.
So Gary, how is it in there with
It's good, bro. I'm not ready to blow out anytime soon, man.
That's cool, man.
I'm gonna hang out in here for a while.
I hope you don't mind hanging out with Fireball whiskey.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's going to be great. We're going to party together.
We're gonna give him ulcers together, aren't we?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Hey,
Let's
hey,
kidney stone.
Gary. Let's do it.
let's-
Sloppy seconds. I'll
Let's
be
get
inside
revenge
you.
for him eating us, even though we want him to.
Yes.
Yes.
Just kind of rolling inside. Oh,
I think you should go see a doctor, Steven.
I probably should. Guys, Fireball whiskey, it makes everything better. All right, let's get back to the show. We brought some toys that I wanted to talk to you about.
We did. Let's
Because
talk about
Mike
the toys.
Black has.
Okay, wait. I want to talk to you about this one. This is one of my favorites. This is a Star Wars toy.
It is. I love that.
I is one of my favorite weird pieces because it's a robot from. You tell me what it is. You know what it is?
Yeah, this is from Star Wars. This was done when Kenner came back out and they released the Power of the Force 2 line. This was like the original Power Droid. That was from that was outside the Jawa Sandcrawl that only showed like a minute of screen time.
It was like
Yeah, you couldn't tell if it was like part of the scenery or an
Yeah.
actual
Yeah.
character.
Yeah, I love it. It's awesome.
Yeah,
It's
so
awesome.
I love
for
stuff
for those of you listening, Mike Black
Yeah.
has an Instagram account that is nothing but photos of his toys and
Yeah,
various
just a
things.
bunch of
It's-
different action figures.
Oh, I love it. I'm going to come follow you now.
It's
definitely.
it's so fun because I'm not a big toy guy, but
Yeah.
I mean I get my toy fix just by watching Mike Black's Instagram. Like that's enough for me.
Really?
But he'll
How am
just
I
have pictures
following
of like
you? I got to follow you now.
I don't. Yeah.
How are we not best friends?
I don't know why. I don't know why it hasn't happened yet.
Oh, Mike,
It's happening
show,
now.
show him some stuff. You brought
Yeah.
stuff.
I brought this because I thought this would spark some memories.
Freaking awesome. I love this.
This is a 40th anniversary Star Wars Black Hasbro action figure of Darth Vader. And what is that artwork on the bottom, Jordan?
They redid the early bird kit, the Kenner early bird kit. This is what started it all. You
Yeah.
know this.
I know, but they don't know.
This is the
Tell the people
out
on
there-
the internet.
This is the podcast. Here we go, internet people. This is a replica of the original 1977 early bird kit, which was a fantastic story by Kenner.
Please tell the story.
Oh, let's tell the story.
because
It's
I don't
so
know
great.
the story.
On the back, it has the picture of it. If you
Look at that. Here we go. Okay, so here's the thing, and this is all a true story. So back in 1977, Star Wars came out. Kenner got the Master Toy license, and the movie came out, and it was such a success that Kenner Toys started making all the toys. Well, what happened is Christmas rolled around, and they didn't have the toys yet. They weren't ready. Okay, so the then president of Kenner, a guy named Bernie Loomis, was a marketing genius, and essentially he did something that never been done before. He said, "Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to sell we're going to sell an envelope, and we're going to sell and basically it's an empty friggin' envelope with a lot of cool artwork on it, and parents are going to buy it, and people are looking at me like, no one's ever going to buy it. And he's like, yes, they will, trust me. Parents are going to buy it, and what it is it's a promise, and the promise was that as soon as the toys are available in the next few months, you're going to get a set of 4 of them. It's going to be the Star Wars Early Bird kit, and there were 4 figures in it. It was Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, Chewbacca, and an R2-D2. And that was what started the Kenner Early Bird kit, and the whole started. They were the first 4 action figures ever released.
So are those the 4 most valuable ones?
They're not the 4 most valuable, but if you had the Early Bird, if you've still got the little kit, which is a little box with a little tray, and it went with the envelope. I mean, the kit goes for like $5,000.
Wow!
It's absolutely incredible.
You see, the sports card business got into that same kind of thing, where they used to have cards. You'd buy a pack of cards, and you'd get this one that would be like, you get the rookie card of the #1 draft pick overall in the NBA draft, because that's how I got Shaq's rookie card.
Oh wow! Really?
Was from I got that thing where I like mailed it in an envelope, and then they sent me Shaq's rookie card.
That's cool,
because it was like I got that card that was like their early bird thing.
Wow. Now, you said that Kenner got the license.
Yeah.
Another company famously passed on that license.
Yeah.
And
you know the story.
Resorted to this guy.
So it's He-Man. Who's just
He-Man.
handed over.
Is this the new one from Mattel?
It's one of the newer
I haven't
ones.
seen these. Is this from Maddie? Is this from Maddie Collector?
Masters of the Universe Classics, He-Man.
Love this. This is great.
They're
Turn
articulated
your
all
phone
together.
off, Stephen. What's
what
wrong
are you
with you?
doing, Stephen?
On your own podcast.
You've ruined everything.
No, but I like that
I've
background
ruined
music.
the nighttime show podcast with my phone call.
I love it.
But yeah, he's super.
That's actually
posable
George
now.
Lucas calling you right now.
Yeah.
Hello, George.
Shutting it down.
It's shut down. We can't do this anymore.
Someone write him a check.
So Mattel passed on the Star Wars license?
It's funny. A lot of things have been going around for years about Mattel and Mego and everything like that. I know Marty Abrams, who's was then president of Mego, and I'm like, is that true? Is that true? He's like, I don't know. I'm like, really?
They don't want to admit it.
He's like, I don't know. He's like, I had Micronauts. I'm like, okay. So then Kenner grabbed it, but they were shopping that thing to everyone.
Well, they passed on it, and then the legend I heard is that they jumped on the next one that was offered, which was Clash of the Titans.
Yep.
And that didn't do so well. And then Conan happened, and they were like, we need something similar to Conan, but not Conan.
Yeah, and they did Masters.
He-Man.
The funny thing is I know, actually, a good friend of mine, his name's Mark Taylor. You know Mark Taylor?
I do, yes.
If you guys don't know Mark Taylor, you should know Mark Taylor. He invented He-Man. He invented Masters of the Universe. He invented He-Man. He's a great guy, and he invented the whole thing for Mattel while in-house.
Yeah.
And there's another great woman by the name of Justine Dancer. Do you know Justine? Justine's
that
out in
name.
California. She's a good friend of mine. Justine invented She-Ra in Prince of Power.
Oh, okay.
She's fantastic. And
That's
the stories they
awesome.
have is absolutely incredible.
So what about this guy? You know anything about this guy?
Bib Fortuna.
Bib
Yes.
Fortuna, and that is from.
That's about a foot tall, about 10 inches, something
This
like
has
that?
got to be a sideshow piece.
That's
Yeah.
Sideshow.
It is sideshow. I love sideshow toys.
I love it. It's one of I don't have a lot of Sideshow pieces, but I absolutely love this guy because he's really cool and he's kind of articulated in some ways.
He's great. He's got the giant tentacle around his head. You know, it's so funny because I love Sideshow as a company, and I've got a gallery, a high-end gallery over in New Jersey. We sell collectible toys and everything. We deal with Sideshow as well, and it's so great when I can actually sell vendors, like Sideshow, and I actually collect their products as well because they're so great.
Yeah.
They're such good quality, and they do such rigorous, Q&A, quality and control and everything with all their toys. And
Their
everything.
stuff comes out looking just fantastic. I mean, not only does it look like the alien, but it looks like the actor portraying the alien, like in his face and everything,
Yeah.
Is this part of the Glickman collection?
That is part of the Glickman collection.
I love this.
the private Glickman
Can I
Reserve.
just tell you just for a second how much I love Big Time Rush fans, and I adore them for following me on Instagram and on Twitter. But at the same time, can I just read you some of the comments from
Sure.
my Instagram?
Is it still Where's Logan?
Because this is the 40th anniversary of
Right.
Star Wars.
Right,
So
right.
I'm live streaming from Instagram and from Twitter all day doing these
Right.
wonderful interviews.
About Star
These
Wars.
are about Star Wars. These are the type of things that I'm getting messages about.
It's a Big Time Rush.
Sometimes I think about the simple times when Big Time Rush was a thing and I was young and happy.
Nice.
Same here.
This
Same here.
person just wrote empanadas. Just
I like
in capital
empanadas.
letters.
Sure.
Empanadas are great. I'm a big fan of empanadas.
You're big time Rush. They are. I mean, they're dedicated.
They're loyal.
I get.
Wait,
I,
just
I
read,
get big
just,
time
Jordan,
Rush.
just read it. Just read this one right here. Remember when? Just read that.
Oh my God.
Just read it.
Remember when Big Time Rush went on hiatus and never came back?
This is what I'm dealing with.
Okay. I get
so
that
they're
from
ball busting.
I get that from
They're
I get
ball
that from
busting
Toy
me.
Hunter. I get that
They're
from
like
Toy Hunter.
shitting on me
Yeah.
on the
Remember
internet.
when it went in hiatus?
Went on hiatus?
And never came back?
You sons of bitches.
So
I
see-
love you both. I love all of you.
What else did you bring, Mike? Let's see
I
what
brought
you
some
got.
stuff. This might cue a story for you. This
Oh, it's
guy.
a crystal ball.
Yeah.
What
His
story?
bio
Yeah.
ought to spark something.
So what is that?
Would you
I'll
read
give
the-
you a hint. He
Born of a
came,
Romulan father? Was he Star Trek?
I don't think Romanian father.
Romanian father. I don't.
Okay, the
No,
story.
wait. There's an L in here, dude. Look, that's
Is there
Romulan.
really?
Romalian?
Oh my God, it is Romalian. It's not Romanian.
I don't have my glasses
First of all,
on.
I'd never caught that
a
that spelling
typo.
error before.
That's Crystal
But
Ball from
the-
G.I. Joe?
From G.I.
The
Joe.
lore that I know is
Yeah.
that Stephen King wanted a Snake Eyes figure who was very hard to come by.
Yeah.
For his son.
Yeah.
And so they said, write us a bio, help us create a character.
And he did Crystal Ball?
And we'll do that. And so he and his son wrote this bio for this character, and his weapon was a dream catcher, and he later published a book called
The Dreamcatcher.
Yeah.
Wow.
Whoa.
6 degrees of toys. Boom. My mind is blown.
Wow.
That's
That's
amazing.
friggin' awesome. That
But
man
yeah,
with a
and
crystal
so
ball.
they wrote that bio together.
Him and his son. That's friggin'. And I love Stephen King, too. I read a lot of his stuff.
That's really
Marvel
cool.
Legends stuff. I don't know if you're into that.
I do. I love all this stuff, man. I mean, I was with guys from Marvel last night. I'm doing like the geek tour while I'm out here.
I got the new Star-Lord for you to check out.
By the way, Star-Lord, such a great fucking action figure. And what is completely and totally weirded me out is I've been watching every episode of Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
And it gets to the point in the series where he becomes Star-Lord.
Kind of, yeah.
Like he goes off and does Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right. So
And
he loses
right.
all the weight.
Yeah,
Comes
and,
back.
and the guy who played the bad guy in the first Guardians of the Galaxy, that the blue,
the English guy.
the English guy is his best friend on,
England,
in,
yeah.
no,
Park
in
and Rec?
England on Parks and Rec.
So that's the point where
That's cool.
like you've just witnessed Chris Pratt just become much more famous than his wife, who had been much more famous than him.
Yeah,
Right.
well, at that point,
an interesting
he
power
becomes
dynamic, how
the
that
most
happened.
famous person on the show at that point, and then it's
Yeah.
weird because you're like,
And he's like a minor character still.
now he's Star Lord, but
Right.
he's also this dumb guy on the show, and you're like, come on, like you can't have both.
He's under
But what's
contract.
funny is he's a little bit of that dumb guy in the last Guardians of the Galaxy too.
Yeah.
Like he brings some of that into it. This is another thing for
It's
you.
Muscle Men?
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
and they redid all this stuff.
That looks
Now-
like something you get out of a cereal
This
box.
is a new Muscle Man.
Is that again on my glasses? Is that is that He-Man one?
Yeah,
Okay,
it is.
Is
Good
he,
eyes.
I know. Does he have a big? Does he wear a big glove? Is this Fisto?
It is Fisto.
There you go.
See,
He-Man. They had the strangest friggin' names from those characters. I mean, you're actually playing with a dude named Fisto.
yeah.
Yeah.
Who had like a handlebar mustache,
Hello.
and purple boots.
That's right.
It
He looked like one of those old time guys at a Family Guy.
So-
You know,
so
the
what
old
is that
Muscle
from?
Men that like da 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 da. This was Muscle Men. It was redone by a company called Super 7.
Yep,
That
that's-
just came
and they were
back.
just a line of toys.
Back in the 70s and 80s, yeah. They were like little rubber pink, and they came out with purple ones too, and they were just like rubber guys that you collected and everything like that.
Very cool.
So it's freaking
Now
awesome.
this is a Neca action figure from the new Terminator 3D. I love these guys. It's like
You love 'em?
actually having a small version of the character. in
These
your house.
guys at Neca are out of Jersey, and actually one of the head guys over there, the head of development for everything, product development, is a guy named Randy Falk.
Yeah.
And he's the greatest guy in the world. I know his entire family. They are fantastic. And what I love about him is, and everyone at Neca, they're true fans. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what's so wonderful when
And you can see it in the products. You know?
That's why guys like us are so lucky. I mean,
Yeah.
all of us, we're sitting around, we're doing this as a gig and a career, but we really, really love it. And how many people get a chance to actually do that in life?
Oh, really?
You
Yeah.
know?
We really don't. We really don't get to do it.
I don't see many construction workers that go to work and be like, damn, I love digging a fucking ditch every day. God damn, this is great. I love
Everything in the
directing
world.
traffic with a cone. You know, so we're really lucky, and I never, ever forget that.
I brought you one of my prized possessions.
Okay.
You ready for it?
Can I say it?
Yeah.
Oh, you bastard.
Is this the one you called me?
This is the one I called you
Yeah.
about. This is Blue Snaggletooth.
I was there when you bought it.
I love it.
Yeah.
Were you? Oh, this is awesome. And I got to tell you, for those of you who don't know, I love the little private personal interaction that Steven and I get, because
Yes.
every now and then we'll exchange text messages, and he'll be like, "Hey man, is this a good deal?" And I'll look at him like, "Yeah, it's a Blue Snaggletooth." He's like, "Cool, I'm gonna get it." And like I'm like, "What do you need? What do you need?" Because I love bringing Steven toys and everything like that. I'm like,
Yeah.
"I'm gonna send you like a Dengar. Oh, I'm gonna bring you some Gentle Giant figures."
Yeah.
Because you got like
So tell us
you've
the
got
story of
kick-ass
this
collection.
action figure.
Yeah, what's the deal on Blue Snaggletooth?
Yeah, please.
All right, so this is Blue Snaggletooth, and the big story about Blue Snaggletooth is when Kenner was making him, they got press photos from the set, from Lucasfilm, and they were doing this Cantina
Was this the
set.
original Star Wars?
Yeah.
Or, okay.
They were
First
doing
one.
they were doing the big Cantina Adventure set, which was a Sears exclusive, and they want to do some toys and everything. So in the photos was Hammerhead and Walrus Man,
Right.
and Snaggletooth was one of them. So, and Greedo was in there, of course, as well. So Snaggletooth was only photographed from the waist up, and they didn't know like that he was like this little short dude. So they're like, great, he's a normal guy. So they actually put him in a blue outfit and they made him normal height.
Yeah.
So
With disco boots.
with disco boots and this great eagle belt buckle, which is a great story I'll tell you in a second. So they start making them, and Lucasfilm sees them. They're like, dude, this guy's like a little short little guy. He should only
Yeah.
be like, child size. And they're like, not from the photo you sent. Yeah. So they did this big run of a blue Snaggletooth in the Canteen Adventure set. Then they had to go through a running change where they started making a little short one with like little claw feet and everything, little hairy feet. So this one is really, really valuable. And I've actually seen some of them go for as high as like $1,200 or $1,300, perfect pristine paint and everything.
Yeah, that one's
Wow.
not perfect.
I
but
love it though.
Steven
he's
has
fun, though.
dogs.
So the
I have dogs.
did the dogs get to
We
this?
call no. We
don't
call one of my dogs the toy eater.
Really?
Because sometimes she'll hunt down a toy, and I'll find her in the hallway just
Oh, my
chewing
God.
on some sort of He-Man
Is
toy.
that-
and I'm
is
like,
that
"You
Jelly-
son of a bitch?
is that Jelly Donut?
Yeah.
Jelly Roll?
But
What's
she's
her
so
name?
adorable that it looks so funny with her with like a human
Yeah.
arm coming out of her mouth.
Yeah.
That it just makes
Wait,
it
what's her
okay.
name? She got a cool name.
Jelly Donut.
Jelly Donut. I love that.
You bet.
All right, so the cool story about this is look at his
About
belt
the belt
buckles.
buckle,
He's got
yeah.
this little cool sort of eagle on his belt buckle. Uh-huh. Okay. The guy who designed this toy is a guy named Steve Hodges. And Hodges was like this engineer and everything. And basically he just took this icon, this little eagle, from his business card. It was just some kind of weird
Oh, nice.
icon that he needed. And he stuck it on there, and his bosses at Kenner go, oh, okay. And they just left it. So essentially that was it. He just left it on there. So it was something that like made it in the toy line.
I love stuff like that. Like I just recently got the Well of Souls from Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
the playset,
Great
and
set,
the
man.
hieroglyphics
Great
on
line.
there.
Yeah.
that have the R2D2 and
And little
C3PO,
C-3PO, which were in the movie too, and no one knows. Yep,
And
they did it.
I thought that was the coolest thing that slid through. You know.
Yeah. That stuff is so cool. Like, I mean, even with when Force Awakens came out and Zack Snyder, how Zack and J.J. Abrams were doing stuff. Like, did you ever
Yeah.
see the little YouTube clip where J.J. Abrams is, the camera's
Oh, under the
panning-
Millennium
The
Falcon?
Millennium Falcon,
Yeah.
there's the tumbler.
Yeah.
As part of the Millennium Falcon. That's
So
cool
now,
stuff.
if somebody's at home
Yep.
and they're, let's say they're 40 and they may have toys at their mom's house, what should they go back and look for and be like, hey, this is something that I should actually pull out and has some value?
Well, a lot of people ask me that all the time, and I like to tell them, you want to find out if what they're dealing with is still relevant. Like, if they're going to sit around and go, oh, look, this is a Marcus Welby doctor kit, or this is it's a Paladin have-gun will travel
Yeah.
set.
Yeah.
Like, no one
Nobody
remembers that
cares.
stuff.
Right.
But if it's like Star Wars, if it's like superpowers or superhero-related, look around and go, okay, is this character still in the mainstream media? And then take a look and see,
Yeah.
go to the internet. You go to internet auction sites like eBay and see what they're going for. Packaging is great. If you got the same packaging, you get the original packaging. It's always worth more money. I get calls from people all the time. I get emails. Everyone can always email me or ping me over on
Now,
social
you're good
media.
at helping people like find a gift for someone.
I
You're,
am,
like,
yeah.
amazing at that.
I do. I've been doing a lot of that lately. Like, I will try and find certain things and everything. I've been doing a lot with a lot of celebrities lately, which is really cool because they're
Do you
just
have any
so
cool ones that you've done recently that you can talk
for
about?
celebs.
Yeah. Or anything like
I've
that.
got. Well, actually, the funny. I can't talk about it right now because it's actually an upcoming birthday present. Someone in the Star Wars universe hired me privately, and they said, "Look, I want to get something for my husband," and he was a big Star Wars fan, so I had to have them. I found a really rare a figure, which was of them when they were in the original trilogy. So I had to go find that for them.
Wow.
I'll let you know
cool.
I'll let you know in about 2 weeks.
That sounds
We'll
awesome.
come back. That'll be the my follow-up visit.
So you talked about Super 7 earlier. And
Yeah.
what do you think of these ones that they're doing that are like retro movies sort of stuff?
I like it. This is a reaction. You know,
That's a Karate Kid.
the Karate Kid figures. Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's my whole take on Reaction figures. Reaction was bought by Funko Corporation that do pops, and they do
Yeah.
they do
My
this,
God,
Yeah.
those fucking
Pops are
things.
hot.
pops are
everywhere.
all over the
Oh,
place.
man.
Yeah.
By the way, these things,
the Hikari, the
these
Hikari
things
figures.
are badass.
Yeah, Steve, you got to tell
I
people what it is
love
because if they're
them.
listening, they don't know
That's
what you're pointing to.
Greedo. Oh no, they can see. I mean, from
No, on
there.
the internet when
Okay,
they listen.
Yeah, if you're just listening, sorry about that. Yeah, what we're looking at right now is a Greedo action figure from who is this?
It's from a company called Hikari.
In Japan.
In Japan, they're sort of rotocast blow molded figures. They're 8 inches tall, and they're sort of really kind of stylized, sort of caricatures of the figures.
Because that looks like young Greedo from Phantom Menace.
It
to me.
does. Yeah, he's a little shorter.
And these guys sell between like 70 and 100
They
bucks.
go for about between 75 and 100, and they're really kind of they fall under the category of something called urban vinyl. Okay, so they're kind of vinyl plastic. They come in really neat colors. Sometimes they do limited edition runs and everything, and they're really cool. They look awesome to sit on a shelf.
Yeah.
So
My mom got that for me for my birthday a couple years ago.
they're awesome, and if you collect them, I got a bunch I can send you. So you and Rachel can have more stuff cluttering up the apartment.
God, we have so many fucking
Now
toys
you have
in
a
the
thing
house.
that's a one of a kind
Sure.
that we got. We went to Walter Koenig's house,
Okay,
who was Chekhov on Star
and
Trek.
he's
and
an awesome guy.
He's a great guy, and he's got this amazing
Massive
collection
collector,
himself.
too.
Like his
Yeah.
his upstairs is like this stuff from like the 30s and the 40s and the 50s, like
Right.
this huge collection.
Yeah, toys.
But he had this bust of Two-Face
No,
just
no,
sitting
no.
on the
Flat
floor.
top.
Flat
top, just sitting on the floor.
yeah.
Underneath a Star Trek pinball machine that had a bunch of stuff piled up on top of it because he just has a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, flat top from Dick Tracy.
Yeah, and this is before we even recorded the episode. He's like, "Oh, you like that? Just take it with you." And you go, "I got too much stuff."
He's a
And,
great.
and he,
yeah.
so he gets this bust, and we look on it. On the bottom, it's signed to Walter Koenig from the artist who made it as like
awesome.
was
an
a-
example to show what Flat Top's going to look like in the movie when they made Dick Tracy.
Because Bill
Yeah.
Forsyth did that. I think Bill
yeah.
Forsyth did.
Yeah,
it.
so
Yeah.
it's signed
Played it in the
by him, I guess, on the bottom, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's signed by the guy who won the Oscar, was nominated for the Oscar for Dick Tracy.
So-
and it's on a pedestal now in our living room.
That's
like
awesome,
I
man.
did a nice thing
On a
for
pedestal.
it.
It's like the Hall of Presidents where you have the head.
The head right there, yeah.
Da-dee-da.
So like when people have things like that are like one of a kind items, like
It's
the
great
value of
stuff.
that is like who knows just what somebody would pay.
You
for
don't
it,
know.
right?
Yeah. It's funny. That there's something we actually say in the toy industry when you have a crazy price, you say find another one. Because sometimes there's only one of a kind.
Yeah.
Maquettes and movie memorabilia has really come into mainstream right now. A lot of people are sort of moving on from their toy collections because they've collected everything. They want something really, really unique, so they're buying like movie props and stuff like that. I love that stuff. I mean, I've got stuff at home from Disney. I've got Disney maquettes of like the genie. That was used as like a maquette for like
For
some
Aladdin?
of the animators from Aladdin. I've got the lamp,
Yeah.
Genie's lamp. I mean, and you can't
So
find that
what's
stuff.
your favorite thing out of your whole collection? I'm sure you get asked this all the time, and
Yeah.
it's rather hard to pick. But
Oh, yeah.
what's like sort of your favorite thing you have? at home?
I've actually got an ILM X-wing in my
How big?
office. It's about 9
like-
10 inches on a pedestal. And the thing was
Although he
is-
did that just like a man, where he held his feet about his hands about 3 feet apart. It's like 9, 10
It
inches.
was this
That's-
big. And it's actually this thick. The thing about that is, and I'll be honest, it wasn't the one that was used in filming. It was the one that was after the tragedy of 9/11. and the Twin Towers. eBay did a big, huge auction. They did something called Auctions for America.
Yeah.
Okay, and a lot of people kind of forget about this, but at the time it was like really like,
It was
holy
big.
shit,
I remember
it was
when
huge.
it happened, yeah.
So essentially, basically, eBay did Auctions for America, and they had all these auctions running, and all the proceeds went to the victim, the funding for
Red
9/11.
Cross or the whatever
Right.
fund or all that stuff. Yeah.
Sure.
So Lucasfilm and ILM actually mocked up and made several models,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And this was one of the models that, for some reason, didn't get put in the auction. So it was an X-Wing fighter that is made from a vintage 1977 MPC model kit, but it was totally taken apart and retrofitted just like the movie model with all internal armatures. I mean,
wow.
there's an internal armature going right through it that you can screw in and put on a spindle so you can pose it. There's copper wiring going through it, and it's all this giant great ILM plaque. And it was given to me from a model maker there, and I love it. It's fantastic.
That is so damn cool.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Mike, what's your favorite piece that you have?
Oh, God, I don't know. Probably just the thing that I would grab in a fire is my original Castle Grayskull.
Yes.
Because it's closed and it's full of all my He-Man figures, so it's taking a bunch of things all at once. But it wouldn't be any fun to have a toy expert here if we didn't challenge him a little bit. So I brought two things you can choose.
All right.
How fast can you transform this?
Yeah.
Or can you identify what's in my hand?
All right. Let me see if I can
let's do
identify
both.
what's in your hand.
Oh, this is so great.
Is this a gummy bear?
It is not a gummy
now I have
bear.
my glasses on. Oh, I can't even do
It's
this.
a little rock.
Do you want to
Looks
try
like a
the
little
transformer?
orange
Yeah,
crystal.
I'm looking at this thing. What's it from? It's orange.
That's what I want you to get.
Wait, you hold it out. I want to take
It looks
a look
like a
at
little orange crystal.
It is a little orange crystal. I'll give you a hint.
Okay.
Filmation.
Oh, is it from the real Ghostbusters? The Filmation is real Ghostbusters?
On around the same time as He-Man.
She-Ra?
No, it's not She-Ra. She-Ra wasn't Filmation. Oh, is it from?
By the way, I love that. Like,
I want to say Black Star. It wasn't from Black
Very
Star.
close.
Brown Star. No. Star-Lord?
Brave Star.
Brave Star. That was it. I'm sorry.
Marshall Brave Star. That is Carium, the precious ore
from the
their
Carium
planet.
ore mine.
By the way,
I've actually got the Fort Carium playset in the store.
See, there you go.
I love the reaction I got from him where he's like, "No, She-Ra wasn't on at the same time as He-Man." Like,
Like,
come on,
you
you
idiot.
moron.
Come on,
He's like,
goddamn
moron. Who would think that? No.
All right, what about the transformer? Can we transform it?
Let's see how
yeah.
fast.
hang on.
Which
I'll-
one is
Are you
it?
going to time it,
I will
Steven?
film it. I will film
Okay.
it. Hang on. Here we go.
This is one
Ready.
of the newer ones.
Which transformer is it?
Okay.
I don't recall his
Okay.
name.
This is the Toy Hunter Challenge. You have to transform a transformer and go.
He's already well on his way. Look at this. He's pretty much
Wait, where's
he's
his
got him
head?
doing the splits.
I think it's upside down.
I think those are his legs.
No. Oh, plate came
He's
off.
got
What?
this.
That was
I
not
believe
supposed to
it.
come
I
off, but
believe
that's
he can
cool.
do it.
We're gonna convertible.
Okay,
There
there's
you
his
go.
arms. We're almost there. Toes coming.
There you go.
Got him.
Got him there. How
Done.
much was that?
Time, 29
27
seconds.
Yeah.
Not bad at all.
Nice.
There we go.
Very well done.
This isn't broken.
It's
just
made to
convertible
pop
now.
off. Don't worry.
There you go. This is the battle
I
damage.
think that's his
transformer.
shield,
Yeah.
actually, or something.
That's cool.
Yeah.
There you
All right,
go.
well, Jordan, I know you have to get out of here.
I am running.
But before you go,
Yeah.
as always, we are at the
Scum and Villainy
Scum and Villainy Cantina, and the best part of Scum and Villainy Cantina, besides their blue milk, is their Fireball whiskey, which really gets a party started, and it is yours, sir, to
I
take with
love
you.
it. Thank
Drink it over at Lucasfilms, and tell them that
Disney.
tell them
I will.
tell them to pull their act together. All right.
Yes, I'm gonna. Yes, I'm
No,
actually
just
going to go
joking.
in and tell him
Yeah,
that.
please don't do that. I love
Give him a
them so
bunch of
much.
notes while,
you
after,
go.
Yeah, just
after
give
a
them
few
notes
shots.
and
Give 'em some
drink
notes.
and give them notes.
Thanks, guys.
Tell people where they can find you on the internet.
You guys can find me every day, 24/7, on social media. I'm at Twitter at Jordan Hembrough, Instagram at Jordan Hembrough, and Facebook. You got it. Jordan Hembrough. You can also find me in my gallery on the web at www.hollywoodheroes.com, and we buy and sell high-end vintage toys and movie props. Take a look. Tell me what you want. Tell me what you're looking for. Tell me if you have anything to sell. Tell me if you have a single female friend. No, I'm sorry.
Quick
And
last
that's about
question
it.
for you.
Yeah.
What does an original Rubik's Cube go for?
They don't go for that much, believe it or not. I thought they'd be going for a lot of money. $15-$20. There's
Okay.
a lot of them out there.
I got to get one.
Matt
All right.
sunk his life savings into Rubik's Cube a few years ago.
Do you want some?
I'd love 'em.
I'll send you a bunch.
Because I've got, I have a little collection because I like to solve them. But the V cube out of Greece, now makes an 11 by 11 by 11 cube.
Oh my God!
Which is that's on my birthday wish list right there.
One time I brought Matt. We were walking around the Grove and we went to the police. They had there's like a
Police kiosk.
where the police are.
Yeah.
And they had a Rubik's Cube sitting on the counter. And I was like, hey, can he solve this for you guys real quick? And so he solves the Rubik's Cube within
like 2 minutes.
2 minutes,
Yeah.
right? Puts it back, and what did we say to them? We're like, that's right, solving the crimes that the
Solving the
police
cases
can't.
that police can't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Like got an unsolved mystery, something you can't solve.
You want a cold
Call
case
Matt
files?
Walker.
Yeah.
As long as it has a couple sides to it, this guy can do it.
Awesome.
I love it. Mike, where can people find you and check out all your toys?
I am on all social media at Mike Black Attack.
Yes. Great. What about you, Matt Waka?
You can go to funnymatt.com, or you can tell me what a giant nerd I am for still playing with Rubik's Cubes at mattwalkersucks.com.
Yeah, you do suck a lot. And you can always get me at Stephen Glickman, STPHEN Glickman, on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Robbie Carlisle, how can people find you on the internet? Get over here for a second. Come tell people. Robbie Carlisle, our
Robbie's
dearest,
been here.
Do the
dearest
camera a
friend.
favor.
There he
Get
is.
up here.
Yeah, here, come to my microphone.
There we go.
Come to my microphone.
Get on Michael Stevens.
You can find me at Robbie Carlisle on Twitter.
What's all over your face?
Robbie, can you wipe off your Cheeto mustache before you come on
What is that?
camera?
What were you eating?
Next
They're
time?
churros.
Churros.
Churros. Okay.
Are you eating fucking churros?
It wasn't like it was just one. I have more in the bag.
Did you rub it all over your face first and then eat it?
This is what we're dealing with, internet. All right, where can people find you?
You can find me at Robbie Carlisle on Twitter and on Facebook. And you can check me out on YouTube at Anti-Social Media.
Oh, also you can
You can check him out on the Nighttime
be
Show.
sure to also come see me on June 16th at the Federal Bar. Big show coming up. It's gonna be fantastic.
I look forward to that. Also, June 10th, Nighttime Show at the
Hollywood Improv.
At the Hollywood Improv.
Yeah.
Love it.
Love you guys so much. Don't forget to subscribe to the Nighttime Show podcast and send us comments and love, and we love you guys. Thanks for listening. We have another episode coming up next. Talk to you soon. Peace.
Destined to